So today, I'm hoping that we've got a whole lot of fun things for you. So yeast, let me start with the yeast. Linda, what I found was that this is my bread roll for today that I'm making. But when I make the dough, Linda, I just take a little bit of it and I mix it with some water. In other words, when I've done the dough, I'll take probably about this much of it and then just blend it with some water to make it sort of pretty runny. And then if I get too much, what I do is I just dry it like this, Linda. I just put it in something flat and let it dry. Actually here, this obviously was in a muffin tin. And, I can either keep it like this or, I can blend it, and turn it into powdered yeast. Now, which I probably will do with these. I also don't ever throw these little silicone gel things away, that you get in some things. Please keep them. They're really good to keep. So that was the first thing, Linda. I wanted to make sure that you know that I've been doing that and it works for me. So I'm going to put that away. The next thing I wanted to talk about is really think about containers. I'm encouraging everybody to lower their carbon footprint. So one of the things that I do is I test my blood sugar because I'm pre-diabetic, which means I use a lot of these little containers that contain the testers for when I take my blood. When I take my blood, I sound like a vampire, don't I? Anyway, so I kept looking at these and I go through at least a couple of these every month. And I thought there has to be a good reason to keep these. I've just got to find out what it is. And I threw a lot away before I thought, wow, for those of you who are artistic or are crafty, they are perfect containers for, this is leftover paint, obviously. But how about, if you've got sequins or beads or whatever. And the other thing I was thinking about is, if I look at how I've got things in my fridge, there are an awful lot of stuff where I've got a little bit of gravy left over or something, perfect way to keep them. So I thought I'd share that with you. So I just now hang on to these and use them. I did get asked if I could show people what I'm doing with my muffins. So let's have a little talk about that. Let me just show you here. First of all, this is a reused container. It was one of these things. But I really think about if I'm going to buy anything in plastic, is it the size or the shape that I can reuse it? As some of you know that I am pre-diabetic, and so but I do like to have dessert, and I'm just going to do it this way for a while. And so what I thought was, I need to find a way I can have dessert and it won't overly spike my blood sugar. Now, obviously, if I have a cupcake, and by the way, I quite often mix up all of this and keep it in the fridge and then every night make one cupcake. So here's the thing, I can choose to have a cupcake, but then I realized if I made a muffin, a healthy muffin, it would be less sugar, less whatever. So what I did was I started thinking, I think I'll have an oat muffin at night. Now, I did read all the, stuff. So let's see, what's the difference? If I have an oat muffin, the net carbs are only 4. Okay, so that's net carbs of 4 instead of 8. So first of all, just by going to having a muffin lowers the net carbs down 50%. So that was a good thing. But then I thought about something that, Jody taught me, which was think about almond flour rather than regular flour. So what I started to do was I started to make a mix that was 50% a muffin mix and then 50% almond flour. And you see little bits in there. They're little bits of fruit that I've put in there. So dried fruit. So now I've already cut the carbs down by half, but now I'm adding almond flour, cuts it down even more. And then I can add raisins I normally put some almonds on top. So I'm getting my fruit in a nice way and getting a dessert in a fairly healthy way. Not perfectly healthy, obviously.